Still think camping in the woods is a good idea?
What do you want?
Let me give you a trailer.
Who's that?
From mythical legends to creatures that will leave you scared for days. You have to see the terrifying things you might encounter on your next trip. A footage uploaded online became viral, showing footage from New Mexico in 2006. Two friends had gone into the woods for some fun, but what they encountered was far from ordinary. In the darkness, they turned on their flashlight and saw a pair of glowing eyes staring back at them. The creature, unmistakably a rake, stood in the shadows. The sight was enough to make them scared. Realizing they weren't alone, and that it wasn't secure, they quickly decided to leave, and their fun turned into a terror. Trail mystery. A strange entity was captured on a trail camera late at night near the woods. It had long legs and a small head with piercing eyes. The scary figure stared directly into the camera, its gaze almost as if it knew it was being watched, and then vanished into the darkness. The trail camera, likely set up by a hunter to monitor wildlife, ended up capturing something far more terrifying than any wild animal. It might be a rake. After seeing this chilling footage, the hunter must surely be thankful that only his camera was out there that night, and not him. Twisted Chaser. In a village, a group of boys decided to explore an abandoned site for fun, but their night quickly turned into a nightmare. There, in the dim light, they saw a skinny figure with twisted legs. It looked featureless, almost like it had no face. The creature's appearance resembled a mummy, something they had expected to see resting in ancient graves, not wandering after living souls. What made it worse was that the creature wasn't stationary. It started moving, slowly but surely, coming closer and closer. Realizing the danger, the boys didn't wait to find out what it wanted. Filled with fear, they ran as fast as they could, desperate to escape its pursuit. Swift Runner. While out in the woods at night, a local spotted an odd presence behind a tree. He aimed his flashlight to see clearly, and suddenly, a creature, a skinny, humanoid being, emerged from the shadows. The moment it was spotted, the creature ran away into the darkness. Strangely, it didn't chase him. Unlike the usual behavior associated with such beings, it appeared to be a pale crawler. Though it fled, the local couldn't shake the eerie feeling that he was being watched, or perhaps secretly followed. Field Figure.
Oh, whoa. Standing right there.
A villager noticed a figure moving in the fields one night. It wasn't any animal he recognized. It seemed to be something else. As he caught a glimpse of it, a weird, elongated skull and glowing eyes that fit the description of an alien appeared. Out of curiosity, he called out, asking who it was and what it wanted.
What do you want?
But the creature didn't respond. Instead, it vanished back into the darkness, leaving no trace behind. Maybe it didn't want to be caught. The villagers searched for it, but it was gone. No footprints, no sign. Later, villagers reported their animals mysteriously disappearing, leaving them to wonder if the strange figure had anything to do with it.
Holy crap.
Bush Lurker. The dash camera caught this pale, skinny creature creepily crawling through the bushes along the road. The driver froze for a moment, then quickly reversed the car, realizing this route wasn't safe to continue. The creature's appearance closely resembled that of a Nightstalker or a Pale Walker. Whatever it was, the driver knew one thing for sure. In moments like these, curiosity can cause troubles. If you ever spot something strange on a lonely road, it's best to keep moving. Nightrunner. This footage uploaded online quickly went viral, leaving viewers spooked. While driving at night, a group of friends encountered a scene that looked like it was straight out of a horror movie. From the darkness, a bizarre being emerged. It had a humanoid body and walked on two legs, making it look otherworldly. What made things worse? It suddenly started running toward them. Some viewers believe it was a pale stalker. Unfortunately, the video ended abruptly, leaving everyone wondering what happened next. We can only hope those friends made it home safely that night. Hidden beast.
Who's that?
In the woods, a group of hikers was exploring when their peaceful outing took an unexpected turn. Suddenly, a massive beast appeared. It was giant, muscular, and had unusually large eyes. Before they could get a better look, the creature quickly disappeared into the trees as if it knew it had been seen. For me, it might have been Bigfoot, or perhaps even a ghostly entity. This wasn't the first sighting of its kind. A similar sighting appeared when a group of friends was gathered around a bonfire at night. They saw a shadowy figure silently pass behind the trees. The woods at night are said to be haunted by spirits and mysterious beings. Could these encounters involve these entities? Or is there something even more terrifying hiding in the woods?
Jenny! Yeah, they caught up to reach out to...
Path creature. One night, in the Appalachian woods, a YouTuber set out to record his journey along a hidden path. Everything seemed calm, until he suddenly came face to face with a tall, skinny being. The creature didn't move. It stayed there as if it had been waiting for him. Its presence seemed unreal. Speculations ran wild when the video surfaced online. Some believed it was a skinwalker, a shape-shifting entity from Native American legends. Others thought it might be a spirit tied to the woods. The unsettling part? The YouTuber was never seen again. All that remained was this haunting video. Dark encounter.
Allahu Akbar.
An abandoned house stood empty, but it felt like it was waiting for someone. A brave explorer went there, only to find a terrifying creature. It stood there, hidden behind the wall, its eyes locked onto the explorer as if questioning why he had dared enter its territory. It was covered in black, with a face that resembled a gorilla's. It was some demonic being, taking residence in such a lonely, forgotten place. The explorer thought it'd be best to leave immediately and never look back.
انت جن؟ زي ما يعني انت ايش؟ شو انت؟
Hidden watcher.
تعب على كيفك الساعة شوف واحد سواد لا أصدق.
A video uploaded online became the center of attention. Want to know why? It showed a dark, shadowy figure in the woods, hiding behind a tree. Its branches barely concealed it as it stared directly at the hiker. The figure stood there for a while, watching silently.
الرحمن الرحيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم بسم الله.
It might have been a ghost, as woods like these are known for such creatures. Or maybe it was some other strange being lurking there. Reports soon emerged of similar encounters in that exact spot. Eventually, the area was declared haunted, and authorities sealed it off to prevent anyone from wandering too close.
بسم الله الرحمن لا تخاف ما دام الله ويانا لا تخاف ما يقدر يسوي.
Cyclist surprise. A cyclist was riding through a path surrounded by green bushes when an unexpected thing happened. As he moved onto a street, a creature suddenly jumped in front of him. Its back was dark and humanoid, resembling either an alien being or perhaps a rake creature. Many animals, especially those with protective instincts, act quickly to guard their space. It's possible the cyclist unknowingly disturbed it, causing the creature to react. He wisely chose to keep moving, avoiding any interaction. But even now, that haunting experience stays in his memory. Tree climber. In the woods, some locals witnessed something that made them think twice. There, they spotted a figure dressed in white, climbing creepily up a tree. No human could climb like that, especially at night. It looked more like a ghost or someone possessed by a jinn. Suddenly, it jumped from the tree, and then it started running behind the locals. They tried to make sense of what was happening. We don't know whether they ran, or if they became the prey of whatever dark force had been stalking them. What's certain is that no one dares to venture near those woods again. Ghostly Hopper. In a village, a farmer had an encounter no one could have imagined. Late at night, he spotted a figure dressed in white, hopping on what looked like a single leg. At first glance, it resembled a ghostly lady. But what was it really? This bizarre figure matches the description of the Patasola, a female monster that often appears in the wilderness to lure male hunters or wanderers. And it is said that after that night, the farmer mysteriously went missing, never to be seen again. Silent Stalker. In the woods at night, many expect to encounter skinwalkers, rakes, or wild animals. Things we've heard of before, but one hiker came across something far more unsettling. He spotted a figure dressed entirely in white, with a creepy, haunting face. At first, a hiker might think it's a lost spirit or a ghost, right? Well, it certainly looked that way. The entity stood completely still, its gaze locked directly on the hiker. I'm sure that hiker spent the rest of the night wide awake, haunted by the image of that strange being. Dark Ritual. Caves are known for hiding ancient artifacts, but one visitor in a rocky area discovered something far more disturbing. While exploring, he saw an entity near the cave entrance. Curious, he decided to follow it. Inside the cave, he saw a figure covered in a black gown, holding a creepy stick like a wizard's staff. The figure appeared to be performing a dark ritual. It even seemed to speak, its voice echoing through the cave. This encounter left the visitor shaken, unable to explain what he had just witnessed. Whether a spirit, a creature, or something more sinister, the mystery remains. What do you think he saw? Icy Figure. A driver heading home late at night had his car's back camera capture a terrifying view. A giant ran toward the car. It was muscular and looked like a legendary Bigfoot. Bigfoot is often portrayed as a protector of nature, a guardian that warns humans to respect the wilderness. This sight might have been a reminder of the natural forces that still lurk in the wild. The driver drove off as fast as he could. Seeing something like that is a sign to never stay too long where you don't belong. Road Encounter. A clip uploaded online quickly went viral. Late at night, on an abandoned road, a driver suddenly encountered a bizarre creature. It had a small head and long limbs, appearing in front of his car. The creature was oddly using its hands, almost as if it were pointing or using sign language, either seeking help or warning the driver to leave its territory. It could have been a skinwalker, a shape-shifting being from folklore, but the clip ended abruptly, leaving us unsure whether the driver helped it or sped away to save his life. Protective Waters. In Florida, 2016, animal experts went into the woods near a lake for research and caught what appeared to be a juvenile alligator. At first, everything seemed routine, but what happened next was shocking. Suddenly, the water stirred, and the mother alligator rushed toward the expert with surprising speed. Acting quickly, the expert released the baby alligator back into the water and stepped away, just in time. This intense moment was a clear reminder of how protective mothers in the animal kingdom are when it comes to their offspring, no matter the species.
Now that is a protective mother, and my mother would kill me if she saw what I just did.
Night Eyes. A home security camera caught something strange in the backyard at night. The video quality wasn't great, but one thing stood out. Two glowing eyes staring through the darkness. The figure looked like a shadow, but its shape gave off an otherworldly appearance. The homeowner couldn't make out clear features, but it was enough to give him goosebumps. He believed it could be an alien, with those glowing eyes often associated with extraterrestrial beings, or might be a ghostly entity drawn to the energy of the house. Whatever it was, the homeowner couldn't shake the feeling it might return, so he began checking his camera daily. Ghostly Encounter.
Из фильма ужасов дико рычала в сторону оператора.
An explorer went into the woods when he heard strange sounds from the dark. Curiosity got the better of him, and he decided to track down the source. What he found, however, was more unsettling than he expected. A creepy, ghostly, pale creature. It resembled some otherworldly figure. As soon as he saw it, the man ran away. The area was probably once cursed, a site of rituals long forgotten, and the creature could be a restless spirit guarding its domain. Whether the man escaped or got out safely, no one knows for sure.
Жуткое гуманоидное существо, словно вышедший.
Haunting ritual. Scared of seeing Annabelle? Well, take a look at this. This will make you forget any horror experience you've had. A security camera captured a scary figure, bizarrely moving its hands. It had white eyes, completely blank with no eyeballs, and long, messy hair that added to its terrifying appearance. The figure appeared possessed, as if controlled by dark forces, or perhaps performing a sinister ritual. Whatever it is, one thing's for sure. This is a sight no one will forget anytime soon. Road Spectre. A local stepped outside and found himself face to face with a scene straight out of a horror movie. In the middle of the road sat a figure dressed in white, its face completely covered by hair. The figure moved its head back and forth in a swaying motion, as though it were possessed. A supernatural being might be causing it to act in strange and terrifying ways. After witnessing such a view, the local decided to quickly run away, knowing he needed to call a priest for help. Cabin terror. In the woods, a camper spotted a wooden cabin and felt an uneasy presence inside. It wasn't long before things started being thrown out of the cabin as someone was inside. He moved closer. That's when he saw it. A bizarre creature with dark, empty eye sockets and a scary appearance. Standing on two legs. It looked like a legendary rake. Before the camper could react, the creature rushed toward the camera, and then the screen went black. No one knows what happened after, though I hope the guy made it out safely. Winged horror. For one brave explorer, his nightmare turned into reality when he saw an unimaginable sight. Want to know what he saw? In the cave, he spotted a dark beast. Its giant bird-like form was seen in the shadows. It had a sharp beak and massive wings, unlike anything he had ever seen. Its looks resembled a prehistoric creature. Could it be possible that a long-forgotten species was revived? People thought it might be a scientific experiment at play here. Rumors spread that the explorer alerted the authorities, and soon after, the cave was sealed off permanently. Who knows, the beast was a relic of the past or something entirely new. No one dared to explore that cave again. Silent visitor. In 2022, a house camera captured an unexpected guest. The footage revealed a tall creature, its form resembling a skeleton or even a dinosaur. It had long, bizarre hands and legs. Suddenly, it dropped to all fours and was seen peeking into someone's window. Its presence was spooky. It's possible that this creature is a hidden species of dinosaur, kept secret until now, or perhaps it's an escape from a nearby lab, a subject of study that ended up in the wrong place. Garden crawler. A security camera caught more than just a peaceful night. It recorded a strange being crawling along the garden path. It was moving unnaturally and appeared to have spider-like legs, almost mimicking a giant spider. Nearby dogs began barking, clearly disturbed by the presence of this scary being. No one knows what the creature was, whether it was a giant spider or some undiscovered species. It eventually disappeared into the darkness, but many believe it might return. Hidden creature. In the woods, you expect wild creatures, but one hunter found far more than that. He came across an old, giant tree, and that's when he saw it. A dark, creepy hand sticking out of the bark as if something was inside. He moved to get a better look, hoping to see what it was. And that's when he stopped. In the bark, two glowing dots stared back at him, like eyes resembling some kind of reptile or a goblin-like creature. The hand was small, but it was enough to make him step back. So, was it just a wild animal hiding in the tree? Or something far stranger was captured that day? Next time you're out in the woods, look closely. You might not be alone. Dark presence. On a rocky slope, a hiker saw something that stopped him in his tracks. A figure dressed entirely in black was moving, its face hidden from view. It resembled the ghostly figures often described in the tales, but this time, it wasn't just a story. The dark, ominous creature looked like a restless spirit, and even locals believed the region was haunted by such wandering spirits. Thankfully, it went away. Otherwise, such creatures are said to never leave alone. They often take their prey with them. Forest shadow. Woods are more than just wild animals and trees. In California, a hiker saw a creature near a tall tree. It was black, giant, and appeared to have horns, standing on 2 feet. It resembled a dogman, a beast known for its terrifying appearance. The dogman stood still, watching the hiker, or maybe studying him. Dogmen are said to move with frightening speed. The hiker, sensing the risk, decided not to stick around to find out more about it. Wilderness guardian. One hiker, unaware of what was lying ahead, ventured deeper into the woods. Suddenly, he noticed a giant, shadowy figure hiding behind a tree. Wait, it wasn't just a shadow, it was Bigfoot. The creature watched the hiker for a moment before disappearing behind the tree. Seeing a legendary Bigfoot in front of him was a rare experience. We've mostly heard about these creatures in stories, but to see one with your own eyes, that's something entirely different. Nightstalker. A local was driving through the snowy wilderness of Russia when his car dashcam suddenly captured a figure quickly passing in front of it. The figure moved fast, blending into the snow-covered landscape, making it hard to identify. Given the snowy, isolated setting, a Yeti roaming the area seemed possible. Yeti sightings have been reported in such remote places, and the creature is often described just like the figure caught on camera. Could it have been a Yeti, or is there another explanation? Let me know what you think. Altar shadow. While exploring an abandoned house, a group of explorers stumbled upon an altar there. But what made the scene even more unsettling was a figure slowly emerging behind the altar. It looked like a head covered in hair, possibly the face of a nun, or perhaps a dark, sinister spirit. As they approached the altar, there was no one there, and no trace of any mysterious being. The altar table serves as a bridge between the physical and spiritual realms. That spirit might have been called through the altar, but those who call are said to disappear without a trace. Fence intruder. A homeowner got the shock of his life when he checked his CCTV camera. The footage showed a peaceful night view of the garden, but then a creepy entity appeared, breaking through the fence and peeking through it with glowing eyes. Some believe it could have been a rake, a terrifying cryptid known for its unsettling appearance. At the same time, others think it might have been a spirit trapped in the garden, trying to escape. Either way, you better not go outside to check if you ever see something like this. Forest watcher.
Check this Sasquatch out, you guys. This is a legit Sasquatch.
You might have heard about many mythical beings, but seeing one in front of you is a completely different experience. That's what happened to a group of hikers in the woods. As they moved through the trees, they noticed a black, giant figure hiding behind the branches. Then, its face appeared, peeking through, watching them closely. There it was, big, furry, unmistakable, a Sasquatch. The creature's gaze locked onto the hikers like silently observing their every move. They stood for a moment and thought to report it to experts, as stories of a missing Sasquatch had been circulating. Maybe this was the one everyone was searching for.
Check this Sasquatch out, you guys. This is a legit Sasquatch.
Shadow Beast. Green woods and peaceful landscapes often feel soothing, don't they? But sometimes creatures emerge that turn the scene into something terrifying. A viral clip uploaded online captured just that. A creature resembling a giant, dark figure with elongated limbs and a hunched posture. The being's dark, textured skin and tail gave it a mix of dinosaur and alien traits, blending elements of myth and imagination. It seems like something straight out of the cryptid family, where the unknown meets the unbelievable. Or it might be some terrifying cross or an experiment gone wrong. Or was this just the beginning of more strange sightings to come? Road Stalker. While driving on an abandoned road, a driver spotted something unusual in the distance. As he approached, he saw it clearly. A black-dressed entity standing still on the roadside. It looked like a witch or ghost, but as soon as it realized it had been seen, the entity suddenly turned and ran, disappearing into the shadows behind the trees. The encounter left the driver shaken, wondering what he had just witnessed. In case you ever come across a being like this on an empty road, it's better to just ignore. Haunted encounter. In May 2021, an urban explorer in Errington, England, decided to explore a haunted farmhouse. Everything seemed quiet until he reached the attic. Suddenly, a black, creepy hand appeared, followed by a face with dark, lifeless eyes that stared back for just a second. But before he could process what he saw, the figure vanished. The explorer, shaken, checked the area, but found nothing. Just an old ladder. Realizing it wasn't secure, so he made the smart choice to leave the house. Was it a vampire or just a hoax? The truth behind this clip remains to be revealed. Doorstep visitor. A resident stepped out of his house only to confront a truly frightening visitor. Standing there was a furry creature with exaggerated limbs and an unsettling posture. It was giving a monstrous, otherworldly look. The creature moved around as if it was restless. The person posted this video online to learn what the creature could be. Could it be the revival of some prehistoric animal? Or perhaps an undiscovered species that had remained hidden until now? Whatever it was, it's just too scary to see something like this with your own eyes. Rapid chase. In the woods, workers were driving the truck down a narrow, woody path. Suddenly, they saw a creature running on all fours straight toward them. Was it a bear? Yes, it was, but its incredible speed startled everyone. In the chaos, the truck's windshield wiper broke, but thankfully the workers made it out. A similar sighting occurred in snowy woods when a drone flying overhead captured an intense moment. A giant bear chasing a hiker at full speed. The man kept running for his life, barely managing to escape. Following these incidents, authorities restricted entry into those woods, stating it was crucial to protect both humans and wildlife. No one wanted to take chances after these close calls. Caged Fury. At the MGM Zoo in Las Vegas, a group of visitors were admiring the lions in their enclosure. Everything seemed calm, until one lion suddenly became more aggressive, moving toward the handler inside. The onlookers watched in shock as the situation quickly changed. Luckily, the handler managed to escape, avoiding what could have been a risky situation. This incident shows how unpredictable wild animals can be, even under trained care. Let's hope the handler is doing well after that close call. Cave lurker. On a mountaintop, where the views are breathtaking, one mountaineer had an experience that turned beautiful into terrifying. While exploring a rocky mountain, he noticed a cave. As he peered into the darkness, two glowing eyes suddenly appeared, followed by a creepy body slowly crawling out. Its sharp nails scraped along the floor as it moved. Many legends speak of cave guardians or monsters that lurk in the shadows, and this creature could very well have been one of them. The mountaineer decided to quickly turn back, wondering if he had just discovered a part of a dark legend. Haunted ride. Officers found a car in critical condition, looking like it had been involved in some incident. But what made the whole scene mysterious was a figure inside the car. It resembled a young girl, but finding a girl alone at night in such a state doesn't make sense. It might be that the car was in an accident, and the other people inside were no longer there. But this girl's spirit is still wandering in the car, seen a few times. It's said that locations with tragic pasts often become places where lost spirits stay, unable to move on. It would be haunting to think that such a spirit could still be tied to that place. Woodland Guardian. On May 30th, 2024, a trucker at Rocky Mountain House, Alberta, Canada, had an encounter that left him shaken. While picking up equipment at a remote industrial site, he noticed a large figure lurking behind the trees. The creature's brown fur was clearly visible, blending with the wooded surroundings. At first, he thought it might be a bear, but the size of the creature, standing around 11 feet tall, made him freeze in fear. It resembled the legendary Sasquatch, a creature often rumored to haunt such remote areas. Without wasting a second, the trucker started the engine and sped off down the dirt road, leaving the beast behind. That day, he decided never to return to that site alone again. Open discussion. A worker was busy in a clogged sewer when he suddenly noticed a shadow lurking behind the wall. But as he looked closer, he saw glowing, large eyes peeking out at him. It wasn't just a shadow. It likely resembled one of the gruesome monsters often rumored to live in sewers. The creature stared at him for a while, making the worker freeze in place, unsure of what to do. He cautiously approached. The creature quickly hid behind the wall and disappeared without a trace. It might have been one of those sewer monsters. The worker never found out, but the encounter left him shocked. Thank you very much for watching the video. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to not miss any of the upcoming amazing videos. Thank you once again.